Welcome to another edition of the SprintCarLimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Brands. I'm Jeremy Elliott, joined by Ryan Han. And Ryan, I think you said it best before the show started. It's the Brent Marks podcast.
Yeah, it's becoming the month of Marks, not the month of money, because he's now money.
He is definitely money, and there's a lot of it. We're going to have a quick 3-segment show this week. We have the Outlaws tomorrow. I had some personal things to take care of, so it's just getting back from Eldora and everything. It's just getting to guess when they're having a midweek show like that is a little tough. So we're going to jump in 3 quick segments. We'll be back with a guest next week. Ryan, I think, again, Brent Marks, early, often, and all the time at Eldora. He wins the historical big one on Thursday. And he comes back 2 days later, wins the 39th annual Kings Royal, $275,000 in 3 days. That's some good jingle.
That's like Jeremy Elliott money there. That's crazy.
There we go. Right?
No, I mean, look, when he won the heat on Saturday, I was like, boys, this could be a long evening of chasing.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that was something else. I mean, probably the HBO was probably the bigger maybe surprise, because he started 16th and just drove through the field. 14th?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, missed it by 2. Sorry, jeez.
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters, because he just dominated.
Oh, yeah. It's look, we talked about it last week with him with Eldora Speedway. It's a place he's good at. It's a place he loves to race at. And he was hot coming off PA Speed Week. I thought it was smart to sit out a weekend after the Silver Cup where he lost to Larson, but he was still fast. He just didn't get to the top quick enough. And didn't run the Doty. Went right to Eldora. Does what he needs to do. And he's number 1 in the country, no doubt, slam dunk.
I'm not going to disagree. He's got I talked to a couple people since watching the race, a couple, I guess, guys that are really into sprint car racing, and we've talked about watching his car. His car is just so neutral. It always looks under control. Brent's doing a fantastic job. I mean, he's full of confidence. His motors are running. I mean, it's kind of crazy right now. It's like a steamroller.
It is. He's passing cars like he normally did. All the stuff he had before, with a little faster program and timing better, it's all come together, and this is what we have. And I think it's a guy who's confident. I think it's a guy I think he has a good environment around him. I think that's understated. I think Dennis Christ, a.k.a. Bud, and Heath Moyle, I think they're 2 good guys around Brent. I think Brent still makes the calls or the bulk of the calls, but I think they help out. And I think it just works together. And this goes back to something I've said many times. I don't care if it's football. I don't care if it's basketball. I don't care what it is. You got to have a good mix, and you got to have a good environment, and they have it.
Yeah, and both those guys you spoke of, they've worked together before. They were on the KLR team, worked there together, and they're back for round 2, and round 2 has been pretty productive so far.
Oh, look, yeah. I mean, you can't. And Mark's 3 crown jewels now. I know you could argue the historical big one.
It's a crown jewel. It's at Eldora. I mean, come on.
Well, whatever. But, I mean, now, I got a text about him being a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer, and I'm kind of like, okay, let's slow the roll. But
I mean, look, he's not was he 28? I mean, like, he's barely halfway to 50. Like, come on.
Yeah, but Marks is putting together a 14-month run here.
Oh, yeah.
About 14 months that you don't see in this sport, in that where the progress he's made. usually after 100, and I've said this, Joe has said this, and I kind of agree with him. You know what you got after 100 races or the trajectory you're on. Marks has defied that. He was a 3 to 5, maybe 6 innings a year guy. Well, he's crushing.
I think 100 races is way too short of a sample size.
No, but your trajectory's set.
I don't know. Did you? Where did you see Anthony Macri after 100 races? Come on, seriously.
See him get it better. You could see him getting better. That's the thing. You could see him getting better.
I'm thinking, Lance and Greg always talked about young guys, and they always said 5 to 10 years. And I think what's Brent? Brent's got to be 7, 8 years right now, maybe more. I saw a picture yesterday on Twitter of it was 2 fans standing with Brent by his green and black car, and I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about that. That's an old picture right there. That's like his first car was orange and white, I think, and then that had to be like his second or third year there.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, yeah, he's. I'm not sure the 100 races, but certainly 5. I think 5 years gives you a pretty good direction of where you're going.
Okay, and that's fair. Most people, I guess that's probably depending where you're running, where you're racing.
Yeah, 100. Obviously, Kyle Larson and guys like that are going to show up in 100. The trajectory is like that. I get that, but I think if you just did 100 races, I think you'd miss a lot of guys.
Probably. But whatever.
I'm pretty sure you would have missed Donnie Schatz.
No. I saw him when he was a rookie and watched him that first and second year. And now I didn't know he'd be 300 win Donnie.
Right.
But you could see he was going to be good. No, you could see that. I could see it. I said the same thing with Grabo and Buddy, which, by the way, Buddy's up to 15 wins. Just like
I know. I get the email.
Brent Marks right now, what he's doing, it's an unbelievable feat. He is $481,000, which would put him about 3rd or 4th on the late model list.
No, I just saw the list today. I think he'd actually be 2nd.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be 3rd.
Yeah, I think 3rd. No, was it 3rd?
Madden has $647,000.
Okay, Matt. Yeah, and Madden only ran like 40 races. Did you see that? Yeah, I'm like, shit.
But
did you see Chris Ferguson? He had like 222,000, ran 20 races. I'm like, dude, that's like a really good race per race average right there. That's pretty stout.
Madden's at like 15,000 per race.
Yeah.
Now you got Jonathan Davenport who won $1 million.
Yeah, but the million skews that thing.
But Tyler Erb's run 72 races already.
Yeah, and so has Shepard.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy cow.
But Marks is at 481,000. The next closest guy is Sheldon at 260.
Yep. And Sheldon won 100,000 at Houston's.
You're not catching Marks.
No, someone's got to win Knoxville, Jackson. They got to catch a couple of these big ones.
And the Grove. You're going to have to win those 3 because Marks is going to race in them. And is he not going to qualify? Come on.
Yeah, right.
So Marks is going to keep adding to his. So right now, I don't think it's been a long time since I've seen somebody have the earnings title locked up already. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
Donnie back in his heyday when he was winning 20, 25 races a year. Yeah, that earnings title was locked up in Florida.
Yep. Here's the other interesting stat with Marks, 21 to 23 podiums. I'm not counting the night before the Kings Royal because he pulled out.
Yeah.
Which I thought was smart.
Absolutely.
Brilliant move.
I really like the way they are approaching their racing schedule because they're not extending themselves. They know they're fast. And they don't care what anybody says. Like, well, you're here. Why aren't you racing? Because I don't want to race.
Because it's smart not to race.
It's smart not to race. Yeah, I'm gonna be ready to make 175 tomorrow. That's why.
Yeah, it's Brent Marks. What he's doing is incredible, and he's doing it the right way. And here's the interesting thing. I didn't hear him cuss in Victory Lane. It was so odd. We went to Victory Lane. We went 2 Victory Lanes without somebody swearing.
No, he said something after the historical big one, and I was like, whoa. He said, I think he might have said holy shit or something like that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear it, and
yeah, I was like out of character. I'm like, whoa, but I mean, Brent's pretty mellow. Like even his celebration was very flatline and mellow. I remember they showed a bunch of highlights of Brad when Brad won it the first time. He was jumping up and down and carrying on, but Brent's so freaking mellow all the time. Good for him.
It's a great story. It
really is.
David Gravel had a pretty good week. He won the Joker's Wild, and he won the night before the King's Royal, and ended a 25 race losing streak, and then he wins 2 in, again, 3 days. So David Gravel finding speed. Now, he wasn't a factor in either the King's Royal or the historical big one. I'm a little concerned because the car gets back in traffic like 7th or 8th, and then it doesn't really come forward. But you get him in those first 2 rows, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, his car has raw speed when he is in clean air, without a doubt. I won't disagree with what you said, though. In dirty air, it's not a Carson Macedo type car.
No.
A Brent Marks type car.
Yeah.
Yet. But I mean, the one thing he can do though is he can certainly time trial. So, and he's usually been able to draw pretty darn well.
That's been tested this year, though.
That has been tested, yes. Yes.
Raw speed, he was the fastest car in the pit area at Eldora.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Just raw speed. But obviously you put behind 3 rows, then that – whereas that's the difference with Marks. Like, you could start that guy in Columbus, and he would have won at Eldora. He just
His car's really good.
His car's really good. Gravel, if they figure that out,
he'll be a handful.
He'll get
more than a handful.
He'll get to 20 because he times so well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be a factor this week, which, I don't know if he will at Port Royal. Port Royal is such a wild card. I don't know what to think up there. But at the Grove, you got to look at Gravel and Macedo from the Outlaw standpoint. But
Donnie.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a second. Well, in fact, we'll just do it now. Donnie, I thought there was glimpses of old Donnie in that King's Royal.
Yep.
Not at any other time during the week, but in the King's Royal, we saw that form. And I think here's the other thing. If that caution doesn't come out on lap 32, it could have got good.
Yeah, because I think I knew he was going to be pretty good on the restart, but I felt like he had to make it happen really quick.
Yeah.
Like if it went 2 or 3 laps, Brent was going to be gone. But I felt like Donnie's tires cooled down. He was going to be able to go rip it through the middle for a little bit. It was just a matter of could he catch. I think if Brent would have done something besides attack the top, like maybe if he'd have done like a flyer to block Donnie or something, Donnie would have been better off. But Brent railed the top, and Donnie had to kind of float the middle for 3 or 4 laps. And then he said he kind of wore his tires out and had to get up on top. And at that point, it was
over.
It was over. Yeah. But no, Donnie looked pretty good. I was kind of cheering for him a little bit there through the late sessions of that race, because I thought, man, someone's got to give Brent some challenges right here. But it never kind of escalated. The caution might have taken some wind out of the sails there. But Donnie looked like Donnie used to look a lot at Eldora.
He's going to win 4 more races this year at least.
Okay.
That's my prediction. 4
Nostradamus.
more.
Okay.
And people will say, oh, well, that's not – wait a minute. He hasn't won since day 1. So we're halfway through the season. So, but I just do. I think they're making progress now. What's that mean? We'll see. But shifting gears to Aaron Reitzel, who looked pretty racy, pretty sporty during the historical big one, laid down a 3rd fastest lap. was in his heat race, and he got taken out by a lap car who spun. It was about 2-3 seconds off the pace, which I'll go off about that later. And it flipped really hard in turn 4. It demolished the car. They left. They said, had enough. They went back to Knoxville to regroup. Then they win at Knoxville. Their 4th time winning a 410 race at Knoxville this year, and they take over the point lead. Thoughts, Ryan?
Shocked that they didn't have a second car, to be honest with you. Very shocked. Thoughts, Jeremy?
Yes and no. I know a little bit of how that team works, so not totally shocked, and I'm not going to go into it, but they pulled something down out at Knoxville, and I think I just think that's what they were going with, and if it didn't happen, they were leaving. That's it. And I don't think they expected to, hit a guy who.
Well, no one expects to do that.
By the way, a heat race, not the feature, mind you.
No,
a heat race. And this
and I there's nothing he could have done to avoid it. Like there was nothing he could have done.
Not at that place.
Nope.
And this goes back to my competency test again. If you're 2-3 seconds off the pace, you shouldn't be on the track. You know what? If I were to play in the NFL, I don't just walk. I mean, I can walk on, but I don't get to play with Tom Brady. Okay? Doesn't happen. I have to earn that spot. So this goes back to competency.
NASCAR has a minimum speed.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point do we have to go, okay, if you qualify X amount off the lead, then you can't race. I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing is, like, even Indianapolis 500, there's a rookie day, and you have to prove yourself a little bit. So,
I'm not beating the guy up because everybody needs a chance to race, but pick your battles. Don't always pick
Eldora?
a 58 card field for Eldora for one of the biggest races of the year. I mean, that's probably not. I mean, if you want to go to Eldora, go to the Johnny Appleseed weekend.
Yeah, go to Four Crown when it's all-star race, and it's a little lower drag than where you have every good guy in the country there. So but Aaron Reitzel, back to him. I think Knoxville Nationals rolls around, a lot of laps, a lot of experience. He sat on the pole there before.
Yeah. Swank's always been good there too.
Yeah. So something to take note of. Out west, Justin Sanders gets the win for Ryan, of course. Ryan.
Yes. I was scared. I thought the Friday night show I saw, I'm like, shit. And it was a 2-day show. I'm like, yes, I got a reprieve. And then I woke up Sunday and I said, yes, got him again.
That was the difference between me being ahead of you in the points, because my pick, Dom, Corey Day wasn't there, so I had to pick another guy. I picked Dom. I thought, wins Friday, hasn't been out of the top 4 all year, 18th.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
Fire. And then he just drove around. He said something funny on Twitter, though. He said he drove around waving to the crowd.
Oh, I did hear him, yes.
But thanks, Dom. The time I pick you's the one time you're out of the top 4. But Justin Sanders, it's his first KWS win with Demo Mitri. I believe it's his first 410 win with him. That's surprising to me, but I think if this combination stays together, I think there's going to be more wins to come.
Yeah.
They've had some stuff go wrong. I think they're still getting things kind of like Justin's other cars a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's some time there. But gets you a win.
That's right.
Which that's the bad part. Back in Central PA, Lance DeWeese hammered him at the Grove, which no surprise with Anthony Macri, Danny Dietrich out of town. Lance DeWeese did what he should have done, which is win, but he won big in the Randy Wolf tribute by 4.5 seconds.
And I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot. Like, we were trying to figure out who was going to, how many cars are going to be at the Grove and who was going to be there. And when I saw the lineup, I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about Lance. chalk this one up.
Forgot about Lance? How can you forget?
You forget because he hasn't raced for about a month. And you just kind of, it's not an outlaw show, so you kind of forget that they only kind of run big races. So, but it was the tune-up race, and we talked about that deal. They got to race. They got to race a little bit right now. They're off their deal. They got to race a little bit.
No, I agree. And now you have the Outlaws coming in. Like, I think it's better Friday, Saturday than even at Port, maybe, because more racing.
Yeah.
But this is when he comes up and, wins. So,
yeah.
And I think Port, like I said, which we'll get to in our final segment, I think it's a equalizer because, and I think Donnie's the favorite outlaw there.
Nice.
Macedo's terrible there.
Yeah.
Gravel, okay. Kerry Madsen might, if he comes in, but I don't know if he'll come in.
Yeah, I don't know if there's some good racing in the Midwest. There's some all-star shows out there in the Midwest this week. So
those are, yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there was some. Hey, Jeremy, there was some pretty big hits at Eldora this weekend. Dietrich took a big wallop. Casey Kane took a big one. Man, there's a picture of him. He's in the back of his car as high as the catch fence.
Yeah.
He took a big shitter. That was not pretty.
No, and
so hopefully both those guys. Dietrich was up in the air about whether he's going to make it to Port Royal, but I see now he is definitely going to make it to Port Royal, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I didn't know if he'd make it there or not, but we have some news too. Bernie's going to be with Macri all the way through Knoxville. I was told that last week. Brock Zierfoss lost his crew chief, Shane Bowers. Mm-hmm. He's going to California to work in one of Jason Myers' businesses. Mm-hmm. So we had some news. Silly season just keeps on rolling along.
Keeps on rolling along.
Keeps on rolling. That's going to wrap up segment 1, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Brands. We'll be back in segment 2 where we hit our issues segment and talk about the High Limit Sprint Car Series. Stay tuned. Champion racing oils are purpose-built for engine performance. Containing premium levels of anti-wear additives and high quantities of ZDDP, Champion racing oils are proven to meet the lubrication demands of all competition and race engines. Champion racing oils create a tough film strength which controls wear and provides more horsepower and torque. Offered in all the popular range of multi-viscosity SAE grades, Champion racing oils are your purpose-built choice. For more information, visit championsUseChampion.com. Welcome to segment 2, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Brands. Need to hurry up. Ryan's yawning in between segments.
Woo-hoo.
And
I am.
It's past his bedtime.
Not quite. It's not dark out yet, but it's getting there. I try not to go to bed till it's dark. Well, I really don't want to be considered a little baby.
Yeah. The big news last week happened as soon as we got to Eldora, and there was a press conference, obviously. But as Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet teaming up with Flow Racing, they're going to be streaming the events to form the High Limit Sprint Car Series. And what this is, in case you're living under a rock, we covered it on SprintCarUnlimited.com. It's 12 midweek shows in 2023. 10 of those shows are going to pay $23,000 to the winner with an $80,000 purse. Good chunk of change.
Yeah.
And there's going to be two $50,000 to win races where the purse is going to be in the neighborhood of $140,000. Ryan, before we get into the particulars, and they're going to have a race this year at Putnamville or Lincoln Park Speedway. I called it Putnamville because it's like California and everybody just calls it.
Yeah. I was going to say it must be in California. It's got two names.
No, it's not. It's in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
But when you heard this, what were your thoughts?
I thought we were heading in the late model direction. I think it's good. I think it's great for the teams. Gives you some more big money races. And I'm sure, without knowing for sure, the venues, I'm doubtful that the venues will be outlaw venues. So we'll get to see some different places, which could be good and it could be bad. I know there's a lot of places out there that the late models go to that are super racy. I mean, look, during the COVID mess, the All-Stars went down, and I mean, they went down to Oklahoma, and they had a couple races that were really good on tracks that they'd never been to. Kind of little, I guess, kind of, I don't know, secrets, I guess, secret tracks that you don't even know of that race really good. I mean, a couple of them races were really good, and it might branch out, and we might see some really cool tracks and some great racing, I hope.
Are there any concerns?
Yeah, I think the Outlaws got a big concern.
Well, you just went right to the elephant in the room.
Well, I mean, I think that's in my opinion, that's the only concern. That, I mean, like a guy like Brent Marks, this is going to benefit him even more.
I agree.
I think it's going to benefit everyone, because in the end, no one's going to be able to stop these guys from going to these races. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. If they ever stuck together, this will be a great opportunity to stick together. We always say racers, they never can stick together and get something done, but I'd say they'll stick together to make sure this gets done.
Okay, my initial thoughts, anytime there's money injected into sprint car racing, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Plain and simple. When I see that late model win list and there's only 3 sprint car drivers would be on it.
Yeah.
Top 18, that's a concern to me. That's a huge concern to me.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, yes, it's great. Where I concern is, as of now, Platinum guys can't run it. Now that's the 2022 agreement.
Right.
Where does this go in the future? What do the Outlaws do? I can tell you the Outlaws are concerned. There's 2 stories on sprintcarunlimited.com about this very issue. Actually, there's 3. It's the original press conference. There's 2. I'm sorry. And then the one with Brian Carter, and then World of Outlaw drivers. If the best thing that could happen is if the World of Outlaws would say, okay, we're going to release you from your platinum agreement for these 12 events. We're going to see how it goes.
Right.
I think, Donnie Schatz, and I think he's the best guy I talked to him. Hey, try it. Let's see how it works. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't work, then pull back on it or make your tweaks. Work with Sweet and Larson and Flo on this.
Yes.
That's ideal.
Yes.
Will that happen, though? That's where I get a little, I don't know. The Outlaws don't like to share. I don't think I'm saying anything out of turn here.
No.
And they do not want, like Babs Motor Speedway has been brought up. I've heard Babs Motor Speedway all week.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be, okay, like this week. They don't want one of these races at Babs on a Tuesday, and the Outlaws are at the Grove Friday and Saturday. And
the Outlaws. Yeah. And
yes.
I'll be honest with you. They're not going to be able to do – look, you're not going to be able to have a race at Babs when the Outlaws are 2 days later in Michigan. It ain't going to work.
No, and they shouldn't. I get what the Outlaws are doing.
No.
They got to protect their tracks.
I get it.
Now, my concern is, okay, so – and look, we got to see the schedule but if you
Jeremy, why can't it help the Outlaws? We're only looking at it one way.
Be in the same week?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Because you're hurting the track who paid the sanction fee.
Okay, but what if people say, okay, I can catch another show. I'm gonna drive my motor home in from Michigan. I'm gonna stop at Baps and right up the roads Williams Grove. I think you don't think it's gonna work that way? I think it'll work that way. Some people are gonna do that.
Some, but is it enough? And do some people say, well, why am I going to the Grove when I can see it at a cheaper price over here and see the same guys?
Why do you think it's going to be cheaper? They still have a huge nut.
No sanction fee.
Still a big nut, though.
big nut, but I don't know. I understand why that is a concern.
Oh, I understand it too. But I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure that there's a whole lot they can do, because if you don't let them do it, they'll just say, you know what? See ya. We'll still run your races, and we're going to go to Brad's races too. And we'll go to the All-Star races that pay well.
Right.
And you'll be stuck in Wyoming with 3 cars.
And this is where my concern lies. I don't, and this is nothing against either faction. I'm just looking at it because I know the players and how this works. The Outlaws aren't going to like that same week thing. Carter said it in my story. That isn't going to work. So do they lose drivers? I don't think that's good either. Like, I think here's something that the World Racing Group does that nobody else can do. They do not have the infrastructure to do it. And that's whether it's the All-Stars or anybody else, IRA, MOA, the new organization, uniformity. If a new rule comes up or a question comes up, and I ask a promoter in this area, you know what they say? Well, we're going to talk to the Outlaws and see what they do. Mm-hmm. And then we'll go from there. Or we'll discuss it with the Outlaws. And I know people hate that, but I do think they bring a measure of uniformity, a pseudo-governing body maybe. I mean, look, California changed their rule on the right rear to suit the Outlaws.
Yep.
This year. It took a while, but they did it. Mm-hmm. And look, I agree that I believe Brad Sweet and I believe Kyle Larson when they say they do not want to compete against, they want to work with the Outlaws. I believe that. I just hope that the Outlaws just say, okay, Platinum guys, you can run these events. So we don't have to worry about it.
I'm thinking that if they don't, okay, so what's stopping these guys? What's stopping a guy like Todd Quiring? He's not going to miss all these races. Okay, what's stopping him from going, screw it, I'm not signing a Platinum membership. I'm going to do like Jonathan Davenport's done this year. I'll just hit the races I want to race, and we'll make way more money than anybody and race less.
Well, and now you're bringing up a different thing,
but that's a bad guy. I used a bad example because his tracks are tied in with a lot of the World of Outlaw races. That's probably a bad example.
No, but you know what though? It is a good example. And do the Outlaws leverage Dirt Vision?
Yeah.
Do they? There's a lot of little things with this, and look, I think it's good that they're doing it. I like the premise of it. I like there's more money. What we're talking about now is the reaction. And I just don't know what it's going to be. And I hope they can all get in a room, sing Kumbaya, because I don't want to see this thing where it's fractured, IRL, IndyCar. I don't want to see this thing.
Yeah, the old USA Sprint versus the World of Outlaws.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
No.
I think it's bad for the sport.
Yeah.
But when that all happened, I just hope they work together. I hope everything goes well. I like what Brad and Kyle are doing. Hey, it's more money. Look, and now you're bringing up something else. Does this lead to more guys running a true outlaw schedule? Because the guy leading the earnings list is not only from Central Pennsylvania, which I thought I'd never say that again. It's that he runs everywhere and runs a true outlaw schedule.
When he wants, where he wants.
Put your crew chief. You're a crew chief. You've been a crew chief. By the way, I saw a picture of you in Victory Lane.
Oh no.
With Kevin Gobret.
Oh.
Long time ago when he went into
long time ago.
I saw you.
Probably about 50 or 60 pounds ago too.
You were lighter.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean,
thanks for being nice.
You're lighter. That's all I'm going to say. But
yeah.
put your. I mean, if you run a team, You've been in this business a long time.
Oh,
Right now, what would you do?
well, it's hard to convince me not to do the Brent Marks schedule.
Now, granted, you win the Outlaw points, you get $200,000, but are you gonna beat Brad Sweet over a season?
But you've got to go to the shittier places that you maybe not want to go. I always go back to this. You can't go and run the Tuscarora 50 if you're an outlaw. That's a 50,000 to win race.
56.
Okay, 56, round number.
Brent Marks is not going to go west of, if he goes
Knoxville.
to Jackson, Minnesota.
Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be as far as he goes. Yep.
Nope. No California trips.
Nope.
I was told this week, in diesel fuel alone, to get to Dirt Cup from Iowa is roughly $5 and back is like $5 to $6,000.
I believe that.
So Marks isn't doing that.
Nope. No, what you save in the perks with the Outlaws is sometimes it's made up in good races you can go to and races that you don't have to go to.
Yeah.
I always look at the, when Greg and I raced together, there was races that we really didn't want to go to. I mean, I'm sure Mike was pulling his hair out. Like, these guys don't want to race. No, we don't want to race 7 nights a week. And whatever. But like, there's races that don't make sense. Like, I mean, it just is.
No, and that's another thing, the schedule. Do guys want to run 86 shows or whatever, 80 shows, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Grinding out? I don't know. But again, I like what's going on. I like the extra money. I'm just very curious how this is going to shake out with the World of Outlaws. And hopefully, I'm hoping that everybody gets in a room and makes it work.
It'll have to happen. It'll at least have to happen for 1 year. Because Brad and them are not going to back down.
There's no reason to.
No reason to.
And if Brad wins his 4th title.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the chips in his hand.
Why does he have to run World of Outlaws?
Yeah.
He's done it 4 times. 4 straight, I might add.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. Again, hopefully everything goes the way it should, and we have more racing next year midweek, and everybody plays nice. But that's going to wrap up segment 2, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Brands. We'll be back in our 3rd and final segment where we make our picks. Stay tuned. Moose's LZ Bar and Grill in Jonestown, PA has a history of providing great food at a great price. They have daily lunch and dinner specials, including baby back ribs on Monday, dollar tacos on Wednesday, prime rib on Friday and Saturdays, and seafood on Sunday. They also have daily drink specials. The deck is open all year round and features live entertainment May through September. For more information, go to www.mooseslz.com. Welcome back to our 3rd and final segment, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Brands. Ryan, we're going to make our picks. I was looking good until Dom last week. I would have been past you. It would have been great.
I think the taco truck pulled up in turns 1 and 2.
Is it? He took a detour at the taco.
Detour.
I gotta text him and say, hey, what? You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of picks this week. The World of Outlaws come to Central Pennsylvania, and we start at Port Royal Speedway Wednesday night, which by the time people see this, it'll be Wednesday in the morning. But, Ryan, I think this is the most wide open track of the week. I mean, actually wide open all the way across the board in all our picks. There's no outlaw guy who's really special there.
No, it's they don't have a ton of races there.
No.
I think you were right earlier when you said Donnie's probably the guy that has the most success there in recent memory. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can go with him at Port. I just don't know.
Mm.
But I get first pick.
You do.
And one of the big storylines this week, Gravel's within 42 points. Coming to Central PA.
Yeah.
Now, Brad's okay. That's probably a wash at Port Royal.
Yeah, I would agree.
You get to the Grove, David Gravel can make up some points.
Yep.
Make up some points. So, and Sheldon needs to make up points. He lost a bunch last week. He's 80 back. Maceto's still hanging in there too. Again, really good at the Grove. Definitely going to be an interesting swing through here because this is our last swing until the National Open.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked first at Port Royal.
You do.
And I have no clue what to do here. 0.0 clue of what to do here.
Well, then you might as well just let me pick a while.
I don't know. Give me Lance Deweese.
Okay.
Going posse.
Give me Larson.
Oh, that's right. He'll show up.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about him.
Oh, I forgot about him. I forgot. Oops. I didn't.
I always forget about him.
Yep.
I never know what his schedule is going to be, and I even looked
It
at
was
it.
on Twitter today.
Is he going to the Grove too?
Yeah, both nights.
Okay.
I mean, no, he probably won't be at the Grove at all. He's got a lot of Pocono stuff at night that he has to do.
Yeah, right. Friday night, Williams Grove Speedway. Come on, I gave you a tip earlier.
Dumbass. Wow, you gave me a tip, yeah.
A big tip.
What happened was you made sure you got the pick. Yeah, forget it. I'm not even going there.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But you pick Williams Grove Friday.
Williams Grove. I got to go with Brent Marks because I'm probably not going to get him with the last pick. So.
See, Williams Grove, there's a lot of good picks.
Oh, yeah. But that's a pretty solid one.
I'm really pissed off about that Larson thing at Port Royal. I just drew a blank.
Larson's really not that good at Port Royal.
No, I make the argument that's his best track in the country.
I know. That's why I was like, let me pick first.
No.
Yeah. Schneikes.
Give me Friday Gravel.
Okay.
Ooh, Saturday. Summer Nationals, 20 grand to win. Can I take Gravel again? I'm going with Macedo.
I'll take Lance.
Okay. Baps Motor Speedway. Kevin Gobrecht Classic is on Sunday. I feel bad. It's supposed to happen in May. Got rained out. And they moved it to now. It's a hole in the schedule for modifieds as well. People got to keep that into consideration. Sealands Grove will also be racing on Saturday night. We pick it, but I don't know who's going to go. Could cut into the car. Williams Grove. But Baps Motor Speedway on Sunday. I really not. I'm going to take Danny Dietrich.
Except I got first pick, bud.
Oh, go ahead.
So I'm going to take Danny Dietrich. Oops.
Would you have done that anyway?
Yes, I already had it written down.
You know, this is not going my way. I'll take Marks.
You really think he's going to be there?
I'm hoping.
I'll be shocked if he's there.
Well, if he's not, then I'll take Macri.
Yeah.
Is he not going?
I don't know. I didn't even know Baps ran Sunday. I'll be quite honest with you.
So, well, now that I'm downtrodden for the other couple minutes of the show, All-Star Circuit of Champions go to Lake Ozark. Had a week off last week. Most of them ran at, obviously, Eldora. And I get first pick.
You do?
I'm going to take Cap Henry.
Really?
Yep. Okay. Is he not capable or?
No, I'm just first pick. I was shocked.
I threw you off.
You did. I mean, you left me the field.
I did.
Literally, because I got the 2 picks in a row.
That's right. Have him.
I'll take Rico.
Okay.
And I'll take Gio. No, Brown. Give me Brown. No, Brown won't be. I don't think Brown will be there Saturday.
Okay. I don't know who you're taking.
On. No, I don't think Brown. I think Brown's running Knoxville. I'll take Gio the second night.
Gio? Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to take Courtney.
Okay.
App Henry, first and second last year when they were there.
Nice. Good call, man.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean it's going to happen this year.
I did not know that. I figured there was something behind it, but I didn't know what it was.
Well, now we go to your favorite USAC, Indiana Sprint Week, 4 straight nights of fun and frolic in Indiana. You can't wait to pick these. First up is Gas City.
Yep.
And I guess I get first pick.
You do.
I need to be strong out of the gate here.
You do. Straight up, hot shoe out of the gate.
Because I'm getting crushed on these picks the way they're falling. I got to take Brady Bacon out of the gate.
Okay.
And you got Gas City, then you come back with Kokomo.
Okay. Gas City. Give me Baloo.
Okay.
Then give me Grant.
Ooh, at Kokomo.
No wait. Fuck. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. Yeah, I'll stay with Grant.
You sure?
Yep. You really wanted him.
No.
Okay.
Now, this is where Kyle Cummins comes into play.
Okay.
Kokomo. Do I want
Hobstadt. That's his place.
That's true, but he's not bad at Kokomo either.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you already took, so I can go. All right, I'm going to take Baloo.
Okay.
Going to come back with Leary at Lawrenceburg.
Okay. That's where I'm taking. I'm taking my Brady Bacon pick, and then Circle City. I will take. Give me Logan Seavey.
Ah, nice pick. I will take Justin Grant.
Okay.
I think we have more USAC next week because then they have a day off and come back. So now we come King of the West.
You see how excited I am?
King of the West.
King of the West.
And I pick first, don't I?
Yes, you do.
It's Stockton.
Yes, you are.
Look, Dom's let me down last week. He's going to redeem himself this week. We're taking the taco truck at Stockton.
Give me Croft. He's second in points. I mean, he's proven himself this year.
All right.
I took him earlier in the year for a home run, buddy.
I know. Dom,
when you see the taco truck, when you hear the little noise in the background, don't forget
that's
to pull
an
over
ice
again.
cream truck.
Okay? Well, the taco truck makes some kind of noise.
You know
there
what?
Might be marionetas and,
because of maracas.
Maracas, whatever you want to call it.
But Dom, run it like you're running for your last meal. Come on. So that's going to wrap up this edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Brands. Stay tuned to SprintCarUnlimited.com all week for your sprint car needs. We'll have plenty of content from the World of Outlaws swing through Central PA and a lot more. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned.